26th, we're going to bring in two people from Tennessee. The company is TIPCO, T-I-P-C-O. Jim Cortese is the person that we've been interacting with. He's a certified arborist. And what's going to happen is that we're going to inject solutions around the circumference of the tree. We're going to go through the bark. The next layer is the phloem, cambium, and then we're going to inject it just into the tissue inside of the cambium called the xylem. And this solution will be injected around the entire circumference, as I mentioned, and the uptake of this solution is driven by the loss of moisture through the canopy, transpiration. You remember last year at this time we applied an anti-transpirant to the foliage. At that time we were trying to prevent further herbicide uptake, but here we're trying to inject as much solution as we can into the tree, so we're hoping that this new leaves, all of these leaves that are forming on the trees now will be transpiring. They'll be losing moisture, and it's that process that'll pull this sugar solution up through the trunk into the canopy.
So is it man-made photosynthesis? Is that what it is?
It's
or what's
IV.
It like? IV.
Yeah, it's like, you put them on an IV and you inject a solution, life-sustaining carbohydrates, and the more we get in there, the better we are.
And this is experimental, never really been done before.
There was some research out of Texas A&M that was published in 2009 that showed some benefit with healthy trees. Anecdotally, it was done with the treaty oak in Austin, Texas in 1989. It's not routinely practiced at all, but we feel like that based on the condition of the trees, it certainly warrants making this extra effort at this point.
And the cost?
It's minimal. Jim Cortese is coming down and he's going to perform the procedure for just his expenses.
Did he have any connection to the Texas A&M research at all?
No, he didn't. But I've been in communication with those guys, and they're supportive. They think that it's worth trying.
Did they feel like it helped the treaty oak down there?
They were trying everything under the sun with the treaty oaks, and as you recall, the tree originally had a canopy spread of, I believe it was 146 feet, and 2/3 of the canopy died. They essentially removed all the soil from the root zone, and they performed many of the same procedures that we performed, and at the end of the day, the tree survived, but there's only like 1/3 of the canopy left. Within a few years, they fruited again, and what's remaining of the tree is healthy and thriving. So, but in terms of whether the sugar injections was beneficial or not, it wasn't repeated. They were just simply doing one of many procedures, and it was impossible to isolate the benefit of each.
When we're describing it as an IV, is there something that's actually going to be inserted and left for an extended period of time?
What will happen is that there'll be like Tygon tubing that's running to, there'll be little bores in the trunk that'll go down to the xylem, and then little suction caps will fit in those, and it's either going to be gravity fed or low pressure fed, and it'll be attached to a reservoir of the sugar solution, and in essence, depending upon how much transpiration there is, that'll determine how quickly the tree will take up the sugar solution.
Okay.
As far as the rolling tradition is concerned, are these two oak trees still going to be here in the fall?
They will be here in the fall.
Say that again?
They will be here in the fall. Whether they're alive or not. There is a committee that's looking at continuing the rolling tradition, looking at temporary solutions should the trees die. Because once we start having branches that have to be removed because of death, then I would hope that would accelerate the process of finding an alternative location.
Okay, so in the fall, do you think we'll be able to continue rolling these trees? Or
that is the plan at this time.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? All right.